Here's a very easy guide on how to change the pump of a BrewZilla Gen 4. To change the pump on a BrewZilla, the tools you'll need: 8mm socket, I think 8 or 7, I used 8, a little loose, but it worked, and Phillip head screwdriver. Now, probably not advised to use an impact driver. I used one anyways, but make sure you get one with a pretty small tip, because there are pretty small screws on the unit to remove the cover plate or the control panel. So you literally just need an 8mm socket and a Phillip head screwdriver. This whole process took me about 20 minutes. It's super easy.
So first and foremost, you have to flip the unit over to access the pump, the control panel, and the feet. As you see, I'm unscrewing the feet to allow access fully to the control panel cover. Make sure not to lose the tiny little screws and nuts that come with everything. After the feet are removed, we're going to make sure to remove the pump tubing, and then after the pump tubing is disconnected, we're going to remove the 2 mounting screws that hold the pump in place to the bottom of the unit. From there, we can finally access the control panel cover plate, which is 4 of these little tiny screws that you're going to want to disconnect to get access to the wiring. From here, we get to finally remove the current pump, which is only 3 wires. You have 1 ground and 2 attached to this bar. We're going to remove the ground wire first, which is basically a screw and a nut. Mine was hand tight, so just unscrewing it and holding the nut in place was enough to do its thing. Then you're going to want to remove the little coupler that kind of hides the hole to the control panel first before you start unscrewing the wires. As you see here, there's only 2, one right there on either far end of that power bar or bar that supplies power to everything connected to it. Those little screws can fall and become a nightmare to pick up, so make sure you're careful with that. And then once everything's unscrewed and moves freely, you can go ahead and kind of thread it out of the control panel area. From there, you can remove the old pump and in turn put the new pump in its place. You see me unboxing the new one, or unwrapping it rather, and I'm going to do the reverse order of everything you just saw. Make sure you put this little control panel threaded coupler deal in, and make sure not to forget the nut that goes in after all of which you'll see here in a second. I did not, and I installed everything and then had to remove the new wiring just to secure it, as you'll see here in a second. Threading everything one at a time is key because it's a tight fit, and yeah, one at a time. Don't forget that thing. Don't be me. From there, we're going to thread the wires where they need to go. The wiring configuration makes it easy not to mess up because your longest wire goes where you see me installing it now. The other wire goes right there. If you notice, the termination points on those are kind of like a fork, and then the ground is a closed circle, and it gets stacked on the other ground together, and that's it. Then you're going to make sure to put the panel cover back on with the 3 tiny screws. There's a little notch out for the ground wires, and put the feet back on, and that's it. You are done.
So that's it. You saw me change the pump on the BrewZilla Gen 4. You saw how easy it is. If you got any value out of this video, make sure to give it a like. If you enjoy watching brewing related content, make sure to subscribe. It's absolutely free. Thank you guys for watching. Hope this was super helpful for those of you who needed to swap out the pump on your BrewZilla Gen 4. I'll see you guys in the next video.